Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Hakuoki Kyoto wins. And last time, we got called a demon. It's close to being a monster. We got some Code Realized backstory going on here. I kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, we don't know where our dad went, and he creates monsters, and we very well may have been an experiment. And, like, that girl looked like us, and maybe she's like... Maybe she is us, and we're like a homunculus too. Like, I don't know, but like, you see what I'm saying here? There's a little bit of like a common backstory. I mean, you have to think of it like Idea Factory, right? Like, they make a bazillion games. There's bound to be ones that have like a similar backstory. And not all of them get localized. There are so fucking many that I see on like Amazon that you can get Japanese versions, and I'm like, I don't know what this game even is, but the art is so pretty and why isn't it localized? And it makes me so mad. That's why I'm learning to read Japanese, okay? I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to speak it. I'm gonna be that weird asshole who's like, I can read it, write it down. Could you write that down for me? Because I can't figure it out. I have to stop and be like, this is what that says. But like, because like I'm using Duolingo, right? So it like says it, and I'm like, oh, I can read that, and it says this. But like, it'll say, and it'll be like, and you're like, listen again, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna need you to slow it down to like 1% volume, like speed, because I'm like, I just, wait, what? I'll catch like one word out of like 10 in a sentence, and I'm like, no. But if it's in front of me, I'll be like, oh, I know what this is. But then again, it's also because you do the same lessons over and over, so after a while, you're like, you just see one word and you know exactly what it says, because you know what the theme is. So I don't really know if it's helping. I don't know. I mean, I recognize words. I know words, like when I see like songs that I like in Japanese, and I'm like, I know what that word means, and I know what that means, and I think I know what that means. And this means maybe something like this. I don't know if that's right, but it's close enough, and I get excited. And I've also been making my own things. Like, I like knowing sentences. I was like, I wonder if this is how you say this, then I wonder if I can say that like this. And then I put it in like a reverse translation, and I'm like, if I put it in Japanese and see if it translates to English back to what I think I'm saying, then I'm good. You know. And I always do that. Like, I like to go, you try to put like, if you put words into translation apps, they're really good and it'll tell you the word. But then when you do sentences, there are times where you're like, okay, what does this word mean? And you're like, oh, okay, it means that. Okay, what does this mean? Okay, that's what this means. And then you click it and you're like, why did you put hatchet in the middle of my sentence? I said nothing about a hatchet. How the fuck did that end up in my sentence? So I like to reverse translate and see what happens. I don't really trust Google Translate, but, you know, if I put in a sentence that I think is right, or if I Google something and it tells me this is the thing, because I've noticed Google Translate will tell you this is it. If you put it in English and say, how do you say this? It'll tell you it in Japanese. And then if you put it back in Japanese in the translate, it'll tell you something different. And you're like, so when I asked you to tell me what it was in Japanese, you told me something totally different. And now I look like a dumb fuck. Like, I literally wanted to be like, shut up. And it was like, chicken shit. And you're like, I mean, you know, not exactly. I don't know how. Huh. Now I'm curious. I'm going to Google that later. But anyway. June 1864. So I mean, like, I'm learning, but like, who knows if next year we'll be able to read Japanese. I don't know. Maybe not, but I'm aspiring to something at least. The compound was alive with noise and movement. Oh, I am reading this in my tour guide voice. That's not the right thing. Scratch that, back it up. Strike that, reverse it, back it up. The compound was alive with noise and movement. I passed several soldiers in the halls, each one of them excited about something. I do like that we kind of had to move compounds. Now they're like, look, now we got different backgrounds. It's like they wanted to spice things up for us a little bit. What was going on? They could have just done what they did in, like, Code Realized, and they could have just been like, here's the room, and now they just flip it backwards, and you're like, oh, so the room's just backwards now is what you're telling me? But they give you different backgrounds. I like that. This is unconscionable. Never, and oh my... Ito, is something wrong? Yes, I'd say everything is wrong. Why should I be made to bare my skin in the same room as those savages? Ito's explanation was useless. I was completely confused. Is there something going on today? Ito did his best to collect himself, shakily adjusting his hair and clothing before he spoke. Oh. Someone claiming to be a doctor whom Kondo met on his visit to the Shogun has arrived. He is conducting physical examinations. With a disdainful sniff, he glared pointedly across the hall towards the area he just left. The men were getting physical checkups. That much I knew. Given my particular situation, I'd been exempted by the captains, who also gave me special instructions to stay away. That hairless monster! That doctor. He demanded I remove my clothes in front of everyone. When I refused, as any decent man would, he tried to remove them himself. By force! Yeah, this is a great voice for him. And the rest of them just stood there. What sort of uncultured savages are they? Girl, are you really a woman hiding under those clothes? Savages seemed a bit strong. At any rate, perhaps I should go see what a physical entailed. I was a doctor's daughter after all. Oh my god, she's going to see a bunch of penis. Like, guys, I'm sorry, we're going to have to, this part is not going to be able to go up. It's going to be flagged for inappropriate conduct because she's going to see nudes. Like, what's this doctor's name? Oh! No, never mind. I saw Rio and I was like, wait a minute. And I was like, wait, who's it? No, the other guy's something. Okay. For a second, I thought maybe the doctor man was our other love interest, but it's not. It's not. It's not the name. His name was, I forget what his name is already, but that wasn't it. I believe he called himself Ryojin Masumoto. What? Wait, Dr. Masumoto? What's up with that reaction? Do you know him? When I first came to Kyoto, my plan was to find Dr. Masumoto. My father told me that I could rely on the man if I ever needed anything. Fortunately, he was away on business when I'd arrived, and after that, I'm gonna go watch the physical exams. There was no time to waste. I'm gonna go watch them. Girl. I'm gonna go watch the physical exams. I want to see Dr. Masumoto. She's not even thinking of, naked man bodies. And this is great. Oh my. So you want to see those savages? What peculiar taste. Yeah, oh god. Is this it? I could hear loud voices from inside. Oh god, girl, this is gonna be so bad. Oh god, oh god. Oh! The scene froze me in place. Alright, next. He looks way too fucking happy. I'm scared. At last, my turn. Check us out, doctor. I'm sorry. I love how it scans down and just throbs for a second. What the fuck was that? What do you think? You're looking at the amazing product of years of training. Your body's fine, Shin. I think it's your head that the doctor ought to be taking a look at. What's that? You say you want me to beat the daylights out of you? You're fine, Shinpachi Nagakura. Now, get. Next. Whoa, hold on there, Doc. You gotta get a good look at this. No, you're quite fine. Healthy as a horse. And I've seen quite enough, thank you. Look at him all! He's all muscly in the rest. Heisuke just looks normal. Fucking Hajime looks like 4. Oh, look at Santa in the background. They look so great. Oh my god. Oh my god. Heisuke's the only one that looks normal. The other ones are little chibi versions of themselves. You're holding up the line, Shinpachi. Get moving, okay? Shinpachi. Did I say Shinpachi? Wait, I was too distracted. Laughing my ass off at this. Get moving, okay? I'm just saying, I don't really think you've had time to fully examine. Don't you want to order a slice of this beefcake? I got 2 meat servings on a plate right here. What? This is also the guy that should have been in Pei's voice, because he's just coming out in this character. Because he's got to have the gruff voice, but he's so into himself. A medical examination is for finding problems, not showing off. Now move. It wasn't difficult to see why Ito was desperate to escape. I couldn't imagine him as part of such a display. They're just topless, so man chest, but what should I do? I feel like it's rude to intrude. We're just standing. So we're just standing outside, I'm just waiting for the doctor. Outside, not inside, because there's a bunch of naked men in there. And she didn't go, ooh. She's like, oh. Ah! I just imagine, we normal women would walk in and be like, oh, okay, there's too much penis going on here. Well, she'd walk in and be like, is that what men look like? Ah! And freak out because she's never seen a naked man before. I mean, it's a scary sight. It really is. Sorry, but... Yukimura, what are you doing here? Is something the matter? Oh, Yamazaki, hello. I heard that Dr. Masumoto was here. Yamazaki didn't look like he was in the mood to tolerate my snooping, so we went to the point. I see. I take it you aim to speak with him, huh? I've been briefed on everything regarding your situation. I think I know what you're doing. I hope you don't think that we're trying to, like, woo-woo, get eyeballs. What's with the rat tail? We need to get rid of that. It's not sexy. However, the physicals are taking some time. Will you leave this to me? What should I do? I don't know. I mean... this isn't really like a... I mean, not really care if one of these or the other would give you points with him, because we're not worried about that right now, but should I leave it to him? I feel like we should, just because I think it is rude to be like the girl who's like spy dropping on this, so I feel like... No, I'll take care of it. Yeah, okay. You know what? We'll trust him. Let's trust him. Are you sure? Then yes, please do so. Got it. Please excuse me. Yamazaki went over to Dr. Masumoto. Pardon me, Dr. Masumoto. Please allow me to look after those whose symptoms are minor. Why not take a little break? I'll take you up on your offer. I waited outside for Dr. Masumoto until he stepped out of the examination room. See, that's what's the nice thing. If we barged in there like, boom, Dr. Masumoto! And there's all a bunch of naked men, you're like, whatever, like, I haven't seen that in a million. Like, look, they've got 50 of them in here, whatever, fine. Clocking which ones you want to date first. No, I'm just kidding. So inappropriate. But you know what I mean? Like, how douchey would we be to, like, bust all up in there? Like, hello? I would feel just as bad if I were standing there and some dude busting all up on my lady bits. Like, dude, well, back it up. Privacy. I don't want you to see my man bits until I'm ready to show you them, okay? Like, God. She's so impatient. We're a lady. After all, I mean, we're dressed like a boy, but... excuse me. Yes? He looked at me for a moment, his eyes narrowed in curiosity. I need to fetch some more medicine, so maybe it's a good time for a break. Can you give me a hand? Oh, yes, of course. What luck! Oh my god, he's gonna kidnap me, isn't he? Oh shit. Dr. Masumoto? Ah, doctor! Hello, Yukimura! Oh, hi, Kondo. I see you found her already. Yes, thanks to you. What? I was utterly lost. Dr. Masumoto laid a gentle hand on my shoulder. Spacey, I came here to see you. Kondo told me that Koto's daughter was staying with the Shinsengumi. Oh, I see. I knew Koto and Masumoto were acquaintances, so I thought perhaps Masumoto might be able to give us a clue as to his friend's whereabouts. I looked him up as soon as he returned to Kyoto. The Shinsengumi had their own reasons for wanting my father found, but Dr. Masumoto's appearance was still cause for joy. Thank you, both of you. They smiled. Dr. Masumoto then explained he had just barely missed me when he left for Ito as I came to Kyoto. He'd received all my letters, but once he finally returned, he had no idea where I was, and consequently couldn't find me. I'm sorry that I missed you. You must have had a rough time of it. Is there anything you need? No, I'm doing all right. So, Dr. Masumoto, about my father... His face took on a grim cast. Before he even spoke, I knew what his response would be. Fortunately, I know no more about where Koto might be than you do. I see. The defeated tone of my voice surprised me. I suppose on some level I believe Dr. Masumoto had some miraculous revelation about my father. Foolish of me, of course, but that didn't make the truth any less devastating. Kondo simply nodded. I hear you've become involved with the treatment. You know what I mean, don't you? Koto's experiments. Yes, I knew what he meant. The experiments my father conducted with some strange concoction that can make people go mad. Please, tell me about it. I want to know everything my father was doing. He nodded. Kyoto was working with the Shinsengumi under orders from the shogun to create what were called Furies. Furies are humans with nigh demonic strength and speed, phenomenal healing abilities.
Furies, a creature with heightened speed and strength, as well as the ability to heal from almost any wound. One can only be killed by a stab wound through the heart or by having its head removed.
Well, that sounds very much like vampires / zombies. Furies. This term seems so familiar. Then I realized I'd overheard some of the men talking about it. Don't jinx him, Soji. It's gonna look bad if officers start joining the Furies. Oh, so Furies come from something you drink, where any injuries could be cured. The Furies that Heisuke spoke about are meant to be pitied. The substance that transforms normal men into these Furies is called the Water of Life.
Water of Life, a substance imported from the West that turns those who drink it into Furies. Until refined by Koto Yukimura, it was too toxic to use.
Bet that didn't stop America. I mean, they say the West. I don't think America. Wait, what year are we in? 1860? Yeah, never mind. America! Woo! I'm like, of course we're gonna drink it. Like, it came from America. Oh yeah, well, we shouldn't drink it. It's probably poison. Those assholes. I mean, seriously. Come on. Every day. You know, everybody else is like, what is wrong with you? And you're like, it might kill me, but whatever. In China, they call it senton. In short, it grants immortality. Fury is Water of Life. It sounded more like something from a fairy tale rather than real life. So Glasses is now immortal? Interesting. And now we know where Idea started. Oh no, the Idea started long before that. Oh my god, he's gonna join Idea with fucking Saint Germain. Dude, I like to tie my games together, you know this. But there was something in Dr. Masumoto's tone of voice that said he was telling the truth. I've already heard about how it makes you strong and hard to kill, but doesn't it cause so much pain that it makes most people go crazy? And even if you survive that, then even... I'm laughing because my bird is in my face. And even if you survive that, then even the smell of blood can make you go crazy again. Dr. Masumoto nodded slowly, then pinched the bridge of his nose with his thumb and forefinger. He looked very tired. So you know about that too? Yes. They were human, but not human. Perhaps they were almost entirely different now. I couldn't see how this Water of Life could ever be used for good. Even if it had healed Sanen's arm, he suffered greatly in the process. Why? It sounded more like a moan than a question. Why? There you go. That sounded more like a whine than a moan. My father would never want to ruin the life of another, but because of what he'd done, people suffered, and some even died. Why was my father doing this? But it wasn't just my father. I was sure no one involved expected such a terrible outcome. Perhaps that is why Koto left. His conscience would no longer allow him to continue. Bert, not in the microphone. But the Water of Life was an opportunity given to us by the Shogun to help strengthen the Shinsengumi. What you doing, bugger? The doctor only shook his head. It was an experiment, and it has failed. You should put it behind you. I'm sure the Shogunate has abandoned it as well. I doubt that. Kondo frowned, perhaps unhappy that Dr. Masumoto would question the Shogunate's original decision. You've seen what happened to the men it was tested on, Kondo. It cannot be allowed to continue. This experiment is inhumane, and you know it. He's like, but I want to be strong. Kondo gave a non-committal grunt and fell silent. I was sure Kondo knew just how dangerous it was to use Water of Life, but the Shogunate had come to him with a request. Perhaps he couldn't refuse, even if he wanted to. Silence fell like a thick blanket. I understand that you were the Shogunate's designated doctor, but you're not one of us. An outsider has no right to object. Sanen? His face was pale as moonlight, as if he was a walking corpse. Is it okay for you to be up right now? Shouldn't you be resting, Sanen? You look pretty pale. Don't worry about me.
Don't worry about me.
He bowed quickly, his mouth a compressed line, and turned to regard the doctor with a cool gaze. You're like forehead crease. My God, I swear to God, you're gonna get wrinkles, sweet cheeks. We use this treatment effectively and at our own discretion. It's dangerous and far too strong. We have continued Kyoto's research. I am, as you can see, living proof, so to speak. As Sonnen did indeed prove, it was possible to drink the water of life and retain your sanity. It just wasn't easy. Perhaps you're right. But that could also mean that you're forcing your body in ways the eyes can't see. I am perfectly healthy. I respectfully disagree. With continued research and modification, we'll have many more successes and fewer casualties. I know that he's always, and it's funny, because he always, like, when he's standing like that, he's gripping his sword hilt, right? Like, and he's standing like that, but I always, for some reason, my brain always thinks that he's holding, like, a fucking, like, a clipboard or, like, a tablet. Like, obviously not a tablet, but, like a clipboard or something he's, like, taking notes on and, like, keeping track of the accounting. I don't know why my brain, like, and it wasn't until, like, I don't know, a couple of parts ago that I was like, oh, it's not actually holding on to, like, a clipboard and, like, taking notes, because it just looks like he is. Like, he whips out a book and he's like, I'm writing this down, keeping tabs on everything. Like, it's just the pose. And it's always because, of course, the text stuff is always, like, going over, so it just... And I look at their faces when I look up at them, not, like, their hands and anything, but it's fucking funny that that's just what my brain went to, and it just took me forever to realize that is not what he wasn't holding, like, a notepad or something, taking freaking writing shit down. Oh my God. Do you plan on sacrificing more of your men in order to have more successes? Using your men to experiment with things that put them in danger comes off as a disregard for life. It's a disgrace. The men who gave their lives are the foundation of our work. They did not die in vain. But also, it's either they commit suicide or they do this. So, I mean, technically they're gonna die anyway, right? Alright, that's enough from both of you. Why don't we discuss this some other time? It was my private opinion that they were unlikely to agree, no matter what time they discussed the subject, but I felt it was polite to keep quiet. Very well. There seemed to be very little common ground between them, but both arguments had merit. Kondo had likely seen this as well, and he chose to end things before it got unpleasant. If you insist, Kondo. Sonnen's face betrayed nothing of what he might be thinking, even when the corner of his mouth quirked up into the beginning of a smile. He bowed quietly and left as swiftly as he arrived. So, how did the exams go? Ah, yes, about that. This sure is a headache. What? Why is that? What do you mean, why? The amount of injured and sick warriors is nearly a third of your force. What? Impossible! It's not only possible, Kondo, it's the truth. What have you been doing to these poor men? Cuts, lacerations, bowel pain. This entire place is lousy with, well, lice for one. Ew, we have lice? That's gross. Seriously? I'm so embarrassed to hear this. I never would have imagined. First, you need to set aside a room dedicated for medical care. Sick men can be sent there. Second, you need to clean this place up. Otherwise, I won't be able to help you. Understood. I'll get to it this instant. Why didn't we clean the headquarters out first? And we're like, yeah, it's just really dusty in here. So, we were ordered to clean the entire compound. Why the hell do we have to do a massive cleaning? Fucking men. There's nothing I hate more in the world than cleaning and organizing crap. Stop bitching. Hurry up and lift that cabinet over there. Now's the perfect chance to serve up those meat cakes you were flaunting earlier. Ah! A rat! Calm down. It's not a big deal. It seems as though it was feeding on that rice ball over there. You're right! Who the hell hid their leftovers over here in the corner? Ugh. Why do I have to bother myself with such a menial task like a servant? I mean, I'm a strategist more than anything. Cleaning isn't in my job description. Chill out. Why don't you just whip out your prized Koshu style and do all the work for us? Shut it! My Koshu military science wasn't designed to help any of you with your housework. What a preposterous idea. Oh, I love Madonna over here. He's like...
Koshu Military Science, a collection of Kai and Takeda's tactics during the warring stages period.
You're quite the big meanie, Harada. Those archaic tactics of his wouldn't be enough to fetch a broom, let alone clean this mess. Miki, you watch your mouth. It may be outdated compared to Western studies, but Koshu military science is far from outdated. Now look, Kondo's coming. What? Chief Kondo, please look. This room was so dirty you couldn't even walk on it, but under my guidance as clean as a Where's the chief? Takeda realized Kondo was nowhere to be seen and he glared at Harada. Ha! You fell for it. Damn you, Harada. You tricked me. Oh. Wow, between bitching, kissing ass, and whining like a baby, you're quite the multitasker. Don't you ever get tired of being a two-faced prick, not knowing which face to show people? Ha! I really love him now. He's starting to grow on me, like, very much. Like, obviously he was handsome to begin with, but he's growing on me with, like, he's always nice, like, you can sleep in my lap. I'll carry you if you're tired. And, like, here, two-faced prick. I love you. You're fun. He's fun. I like him. Hi, everyone. I've washed the rags. Please use this when you wipe the floor. Oh, awesome! Thanks! Despite being upset because of chore duty, the men swiftly cleaned the room as a team. Dr. Masumoto came the next day to inspect the cleanliness of the compounds. Okay, this looks to be in adequate shape. Right? See, everyone, even the doctor realizes that I'm in shape. Compared to the complexity of war tactics, it's not like cleaning is some brilliant task. All you did was complain. Oh, all you did was complain. That was Shinpachi, not. Didn't Soji get to rest all day? Sounds like he gets special treatment while we busted our asses. Hey, don't blame me. Hijikata's the one being overprotective here. It's your fault. You're the one coughing up a lung. You're not improving because you don't take care of yourself. Seeing the compound in such clean conditions is, I must admit, quite nice. True. The place looks different. I could get used to this. Well, maybe we should clean every day then. Great idea. Make sure you do a good job, Heisuke. Me? Whoa, hold on a minute here. You've got the most energy, Shin. Don't think you're getting out of this. I'll help too, Heisuke. Oh yeah? Take it on together. You and me alone. Forget Shin. Hey, wait a minute. I didn't say I wasn't gonna do it. Oh, they all want to hang out with me and Kane. They want to be my man horse. Shinpachi, there's some trash over there. Go throw it away. We aren't starting till tomorrow, right, Heisuke? Stop running around like that. We just cleaned and you're already kicking up dust. I was enjoying the banter when I noticed something. Oh. I could just see Okita and Dr. Masumoto outside, walking off somewhere together. Where could they be going, I wonder? I'm worried about him. What were Okita and Dr. Masumoto doing? Was Okita going to talk to the doctor about his cough? He was coughing an awful lot lately. Now that I thought about it, was he alright? He did get kicked in the chest, like, months ago. But that was like a year ago. Oh my god, could he really be like... You know what I mean? It was like a year ago. But, like, it could have damaged something. I decided to follow them. Oh, okay, I didn't mean to... Huh? Unfortunately, I'd waited too long, and by the time I made my way outside, they were gone. I think they went this way. Oh, Yukimura, are you looking for someone? Shimada, have you seen Okita and the doctor? Oh, yeah, I think I saw them on their way to the courtyard. Thank you. Don't mention it. Just slow down before you hurt yourself, all right? Yes, goodbye. I saw him walk off, and it got me thinking. Courtyard. Should I try and catch up, or should I go around the back and reach the courtyard before they did? Go around. I ducked into the narrow path that ran around the back, and I soon found myself in the courtyard. I hid myself in the shadows, waiting. Okita and the doctor appeared only moments after I hid silently. Oh, I shouldn't hide. We should just be sitting in the courtyard and be like, oh, I'll give you guys some space, and then hide. I'll be honest with you, Okita. You have tuberculosis. Oh my god, that's so terrible! He's gonna die! Oh no! In fact, tuberculosis is no laughing matter. That's like some serious shit.
Wait, he can't die.
Guys, he can't die. I mean, like, in somebody else's path, some of them die in other people's paths. Like, but is he gonna die because we didn't love him enough? That makes me feel so guilty, doesn't it? You're like, we're not in your path, we didn't love you enough, and then you die. Oh my god, that hurts. That hurts me. For just a second, my heart stopped. A shiver ran down my spine, and suddenly I felt very, very cold. I had a feeling that was it. The real thing, huh? Famous disease. Okita has...
Soji Okita. Okita's illness, which caused coughing fits and forced him out of military operations, was eventually discovered to be pulmonary tuberculosis.
Gotta tell you, though, I'm not used to getting health advice from doctors, you know? The best medicine for tuberculosis is rest. I suggest you leave the Shinsengumi and eat nutritional foods to keep up your energy. Sorry, no can do. Look, this is serious. If you don't deal with this, it might be fine now, but eventually you won't even be able to get up from your bed. Then I'll be here until then. I put my sword before my body, even if I cough up blood. Why are you so desperate to stay here? I'm the Shinsengumi's sword. Me being here is my everything. I'm here to kill anyone who stands against the Shinsengumi. Simple as that. I understand. Okita sounded cheery, but I was listening in a state of shock. Okita's going to die? I felt like I wanted to faint, but I stayed strong and remained standing. Look, Doc, please don't tell Kondo and the guys about this, okay? Promise. Well, I suppose there are certain things that not everyone needs to know. Something else I've been keeping secret. I just can't bring myself to tell her. Oh no. There's a rumor that Kyoto is working for a group of extremists. Some of the imperialist Ronin. How could I tell her that? The news of Okita's illness had me so scattered I almost cried out at this new piece of intelligence. My father working with nationalists? There was a sudden someone behind me. A hand slipped over my mouth before I could react, and a freezing sensation made my spine shiver. Stay silent. Is it our boyfriend? It was a calm, cool voice that I'd heard many times before, although never from quite so close. Oh, he followed us. Saito? Is that because we're in his path? My body relaxed. The body behind me was Saito, not some anonymous assailant. Be still. Soji is very perceptive. I nodded my head as much as I dared. His hand over my mouth made me too nervous to breathe. Saito's presence next to me was silent and sharp, like a blade in the night. Her eyes are literally the size of his head. It seemed like hours passed before Okita and Matsumoto finally left. Too close. If it weren't for Saito, you'd have gotten in some real trouble. Yamazaki! How long was he... No, something told me that would be a foolish question. He was probably watching the whole time. Sorry. If you hadn't stopped me, Saito, I probably would have given myself away. No, it's I who should apologize for being so forward with you. Totally okay with it, though. Oh! We got love points with him! Let's see how much our love is brewing now. Oops, I hit the wrong button. 30%! Only 30%? Really? Oh my god, guys. We've gotten so many love blossoms with him and it's only at 30%. Guys, this is so difficult. We've done everything we can and we've only got 30%. This isn't good, man. This is hard. This game is hard. This game is really hard. I don't know how to get the good path, man. I mean, we're only on chapter 3, but we've only got 2 chapters, and I don't know how many, like, look at a smirk. He's like, I didn't want to get set forward with you, but I kind of liked it a little bit. Nonetheless, you followed orders, which is commendable. Oh, no, not at all. There was the briefest hint of a smile in his eyes as he spoke, and then it disappeared. I mean, literally the nice thing about this game, all right, with the romances being so fucking difficult is like, you know, usually you like, I just blink at you and you're like, so, like, Impei, I'm there for you! I mean, he was easy, but, like, everybody else usually like, oh, sir, I'm gonna ask you a question. They're like, oh, and they instantly fall in love with you, and these guys are really fucking hard. It's really fucking difficult. I mean, like, we've gotten love points with Soji and with Sanan, and neither fucking one of them even says it's still closed. Our buds are still closed. You'd think it would be budding after you get a path. But, like, we're only up to 30% with him, and I think we swear to God, what do we have, like 5 or 6 of them? It took at least 3 to get budding. This is our 5th or 6th one. So it's really hard. And I don't even know, we could have gotten one with a CG that I don't know about, that I can't remember. Because I know one of them came, I saw the petals on a CG, but I don't remember who that was. You know what I mean? Then again, that could have been with, what's it called, the bad guy who we have met but haven't met. That could have been him, you know, because we were like, yeah, sure, help us. And he was like, oh, that's fabulous. You know, because whatever. Anyway. Now, Soji, can you truly pretend that you heard nothing? Specifically nothing regarding his illness. He wasn't asking me to keep my mouth shut per se, but rather try to forget what I'd seen and heard had ever happened. I mean, you were asking me to pretend that he's not going to die. But why? If word of his illness were to get out, it would be detrimental to the Shinsengumi. Our enemies would be elated, and the chief and commander would be miserable. He was right. Even I could understand that. But I couldn't forget the sight of Okita smiling, even with the seriousness of this news. We will deal with his illness. This is nothing you need to concern yourself over. But, in other words, do not get involved. We'll do what you say. Do what he says! At the end of the day, I was still only a guest. The sad reminder resurfaced once more. I may live among the Shinsengumi, but I wasn't one of them. Saito's words made that very clear. Suddenly I felt cold, as if a cold gust of wind blew through me, draining all the heat from my body. I was all alone. They left me? That's not nice. You just accosted me and, like, got a little familiar and touchy-feely with me, and then you walk away. From then on, Matsumoto visited the compound regularly to check up on the men of the Shinsengumi. Ever since Sanan had become the leader of the Furies, the group was named as the Fury Corps. Fury Corps, a secret division comprised of men who have become Furies. Still, I couldn't help but wonder, was it really all right to continue researching the Furies? My heart was heavy with worry. Without him, the Shinsengumi would be nothing. We would cease to exist. If so, why? I was like, what's happening? It was slowly fading. New month? October. Yeah, of 1866! Wasn't it just June of 1865? I mean, legit, right? Wasn't the last part literally June of 1865? And now it's October of 1860s. It's been a whole motherfucking year. I mean, holy shit! The only problem with this, to me, I understand, like, usually it's like, oh, it took place over a couple of weeks. You fell in love over a couple of weeks. But I feel like it shouldn't be so difficult to woo the men folk. If we've been with them for almost actually, we have been with them for 2 motherfucking years. Because we started in 1864, right? In, like, February or March. And now we're in October of 1866. It's been, like, 2 fucking years we've been living with them. 2 fucking years. I think we should be in, I mean, good lord, we're in this for the long con, aren't we? I mean, 2 years and we're only 30% with Hajime. Oh my god, I can't do it. Guys, my patience. I mean, her patience, she's got the patience of a motherfucking saint. If she can, like, I kind of have a thing for him, but I don't really know. And then he's just like, bye my time. Bye my time. We're at like 40% now. Oh my god, it's gonna take forever. We're gonna die. We're gonna be like 90 before we, like, I think I like you. I like you too, Spacey. And then he's gonna croak and die because he's old. I mean, Jesus. That's what I'm saying. After the dust cleared, following the Hamaguri Rebellion, and the shogun set about cleaning house. The Choshu expedition was launched by the shogun once the Choshu domain were declared enemies of the court.
Choshu Expedition, a military expedition led by the Tokugawa shogunate against the Choshu, who attacked the imperial palace and became enemies of the court after the Hamaguri Rebellion.
Perhaps feeling they dodged a bullet, the Choshu domain fell silent for a time. Their obedience was short-lived, however, and before long, their disrespect for the shogun became impossible to ignore. In order to investigate further, the shogunate decided to send an envoy to the Choshu domain. Kondo is asked to accompany an envoy sent to the Choshu to investigate their behavior. However, the Choshu domain refused to even meet with the envoy. Fed up with their insubordination, the shogunate ordered the second Choshu expedition. However, the war was a costly one, exhausting both the resources and men from all over the domains whose morale began to falter. To add to the fire, word of the shogun Iemochi's passing shook all of Japan, and some domains even withdrew, which made the situation even, I would say, even more dire. The second Choshu expedition had ended in a surprisingly major loss for the shogunate troops. October of 1866. The pillar of the Tokugawa shogunate, which stood strong for 260 years, was beginning to show signs of instability. That day, I was accompanying Saito on his rounds. And again, they left us alone for a year. I mean, it's just, I get months, like, okay, if it's October of the same year, but it's been a year! Like a fucking year! We have no more bonus points, but, like, I can't! Ah! I get, like, it's gonna be a long haul. Like, I get it. And I'm fine with that, because, like, I mean, usually games are like, oh, it's been 2 weeks and I'm madly in love with you. Okay, that's a little weird, but, you know, we're gonna pretend we don't understand the timeline. This is almost too much. Like, I get it, but, like, oh my god. Really? 2 fucking years and we're only 30% romance with Haji? I mean, I feel like we should be married at this point. People didn't live really long back in the day. I'm just saying. It sure has been hot lately. I've gotten used to the city of Kyoto, but I just can't get used to this humid heat. Indeed. Oh, I love you so much. I always wondered. Even in midsummer, Saito always wore his full uniform. Wasn't he hot? He kept his vigilant guard up while observing the city of Kyoto. We can begin with the store and do our rounds. Wait here, Yukimura. There's nothing for you to do inside. All right. Love points? He gave me a short nod of confirmation and stepped into the shop with his men. It's the Shinsengumi. There are rumors floating around about Ronin coming in and out of here, so we'll have to inspect your store. Yes, sir. Of course. I've been waiting for Saito and his division for a few minutes when I noticed a commotion nearby. Hey, out of the way! You got a couple of patriots coming through here! A number of rather unpleasant-looking Ronin were making their way in my general direction, yelling, threatening, and intimidating anyone unfortunate enough to cross their path. Patriots? Hardly. Perhaps they considered themselves loyal to the imperial court, but they look like the sort who only use their supposed patriotism as an excuse to steal and kill. Hey, you deaf! Told you to move! The Ronin tossed a poorly aimed kick at a child playing in the street. What should I do? It seemed like the warriors were preoccupied with their investigation in the store. Just as I was about to stop the Ronin, no! No. Saito told us to stand still and wait. We fucking stand still and wait. We do what he tells us. We're a good lapdog. For him, we want to get love points, is all I'm saying. Oh, is that the girl? What's her face? Desist, you hooligans! What's this? You think you can tell us what to do, lady? Huh, a woman wants to pick a fight with us? Patriots loyal to the Emperor? Oh, she's gonna, like, whip out swords, she's gonna kick their asses in her fucking kimono and, like, looking like a badass, and I'm over here like, I'm a useless fuck. Great. Great! Show me up, bitch! Fucking cut her in her sleep. Well, perhaps it's you who should feel pathetic for being told by a woman to stop. Don't you know how much trouble you're causing the Kyoto civilians? You bitch! The man's obliviously short fuse had been lit. He made a grab for the girl and missed. I suspected his next attack wouldn't be as inaccurate. Couldn't let that happen. Girl, don't... No. Oh, honey. Wait! When I come to my senses, I notice that I'd instinctively taken action. Okay, how can you tell if they're dressed like a boy or a girl? Because everyone's wearing, like, kimonos. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, how... Like, do girls wear more accoutrements? Like, jewelry? Because it's kind of like if everybody walked around, like... Especially because, like, you have a feminine phase. Like, I'm dressed like a dude. Are you? Because you're kind of wearing, like, a peachy pink kimono, which is kind of feminine to me. And, like, I don't understand. It's not like she's walking around pants. Like, is she wearing pants? Because I'm just assuming that she's not. And, like, she looks just like the girl behind her. They try to make her look like a little bit more like a boyish, but she still looks a little too... She looks like an angry girl, you know. Who's just, like, sweating bullets. Like, it's hot out here, okay? I'm drained a little. Like, I positioned myself in front of the girl, protecting her. Good for us. Who are you? You know this broad? No, I don't. And how about you keep your damn nose out of my goddamn business? Flecks of spit flew from his mouth as he roared at me, and my legs suddenly felt somewhat weaker than they had a moment ago. But I was committed. I couldn't run now. If you truly love your country, as you say, then why do you abuse women and children? A samurai should protect the common people, not attack them. What did you say? That's right. You tell him, son. The guy looks at him and the other guy goes running. Self-confident. That's right. You tell him, son. I'm going to be over here, not helping. How do you like that, you damn Ronin? Patriot my ass. Get out of my city. Something about my speech must have struck a chord with the gathering crowd. With the cheers, my legs started to regain some of their usual steadiness. You son of a bitch. Don't call my mother a bitch. With the rough hiss of metal, the Ronin's sword leapt from its scabbard. Gah! I suddenly discovered I had difficulty swallowing. I tried to dodge, but if I did, he might hit the girl my actions had intended to protect. I was about to draw my sword. Oh, I know who's behind him. You can see his hair. Gah! Huh? Slowly, carefully, I opened my eyes. Oh, I like it when you look at me angry after you just took down someone to save me. It's sexy. Now yell at me a little bit. Tell me I've been bad. I thought I told you to stand still. I thought I told you to stand over there. I know, but when you look at me like that, it's so sexy. I should not play games. You needn't worry. I used the back of my sword. Saito! You! Take them to headquarters. They may be Choshu. Yes, sir! Working quickly, Saito's men set to work binding the Ronin for transport. Saito's cold eyes fell on me. That was reckless. Why didn't you call me? What were you going to do if they hurt you gravely? I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking. But I couldn't help myself. I mean, what if she were to get hurt? Or what if she were to get injured? Love points. Gentleman is right. You were dreadfully reckless. I had the situation well in hand, bitch! Scolding from Saito was expected, but I hadn't thought that my erstwhile damsel in distress would be contribute, bitch. I'm sorry I made you worry. I gave her a short, slightly confused bow, to which she blinked as if suddenly remembering something very important. Oh, but you did save me, didn't you now? And I haven't yet thanked you. How crude of me. Thank you. Oh, well, I didn't do anything. It was Saito and his men who made the actual arrest. Oh, you needn't be so modest. It's way more respectful than just being a bystander. I suspect that our meeting here is Providence. Young ladies must watch out for one another here in the city. We are doing a shit job at pretending to be a boy. Can I just tell you, Ebo was like, oh, you got a chick working for you? And they're like, how did you know? And then, like, Saito's not Saito. Okita's like, hey, look, don't they look alike? So she's like, oh, she's pretty shocked. So it's like, you just told it. And now she's all like, oh, girls gotta look out for each other. And you're like, I suck at this. I suck at being a boy. I would suck at being a boy because, like, I'd have my glorious pink hair and, like, high heels and a dress and, like, mascara on. And I'd be like, oh, my God, whatever. They would just think I was a gay boy. I'd probably, maybe, I don't know. I mean, I'd have to pass for, like, a gay boy. I don't think I could pass for an actual man. It would just be difficult. Also boobs, but, you know. Alright, we don't seem to have boobs, so it's okay. This Spacey in the game, not real Spacey. Real Spacey's got boobs. Fake Spacey in the game doesn't have boobs, but... What? Saito glanced from her to me, and an expression flashed across his face that I couldn't quite place. You can't expect to fool everyone. There's no need to worry about it.
Oh dear, was it supposed to be a secret? Perhaps I shouldn't have mentioned it.
Well, I wasn't entirely sure to respond. How does one person respond to that sort of question? She seemed to sense my confusion and gracefully moved on.
I'm terribly sorry, but I don't believe I've even asked your name. How terribly boorish of me. I should very much like to be friends, but it is difficult to become acquainted with the nameless. Might I inquire as to who you are then?
Well, this is...
Oh, I know who he is! Mr. Saito, yes? The Shinsengumi is frightfully famous here. And you are?
My name is Spacey Yukamura. It's nice to meet you.
Yukamura?
Her eyes grew wide as if she were surprised, and she stared intently at me.
Your last name is Yukamura? Were you born in the East?
Why, yes. I was living in Edo, but I had come to Kyoto for a certain reason. She was acting a little strange, so I tried to speak to her, and she laughed and looked up.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's nothing. It was just the same last name as my acquaintance.
I think Yukamura is a really pretty last name. You think so? Thank you.
And it's a pleasure to meet you, Spacey. You may call me Sen.
Miss Sen, nice to meet you, Sen-san. Sen-san.
Sen, a young woman who was rescued by the heroine from belligerent Ronin in Kyoto. She is also known as Osen. Oh goodness, you needn't be so uptight. You look to be about my age, so I see no reason for us not to speak as equals.
So just Sen then.
Yes, I suppose that will do. We must meet again sometime, Spacey.
Yes, that other girl said that too. She gave my hand, and I haven't seen her in a fucking year. She gave my hand, and she kind of looks like her too. I don't know. All these chicks look alike. They're all clones of me, is probably what it is. She gave my hand a gentle squeeze, then turned and left, her kimono flapping behind her. Our encounter was over before I'd had a chance to grasp what was even happening, and so I simply stood stunned for a moment or two. You know, it would be great if she came to visit us at the Shinsengumi headquarters, like, I'm here to see, Yukamura? And they would be like, oh, Yukamura's gonna grab me. Except for, and they'd be like, I'm gonna take her to my room. What? And they'd be like, what? I mean, I know it's a girl, but is it like some girl on girl shit going on in there? Like, and that's how lesbianism was born. I'm just kidding. That's how men's obsession with lesbians happened. There you go. You're welcome. Saito was eyeing Sen walk off, and eventually he turned to me. Don't you eyeball her! That girl seemed to be rather curious about your last name. I know, huh? She did say it was the same as her acquaintances. Well, I guess Yukamura isn't an uncommon name either. It seemed like Saito was concerned with her reaction to my name, and he was deep in thought. We're running behind our schedule. We should be going now. Oh, yes. What, no love points with him? I didn't have a choice. Why didn't we get love points just for being pretty and being here and saving a girl? You should love us. What would happen if you got hurt? Well, I couldn't let her get hurt. I mean, Jesus. You told me to stand still, and I would have if the game gave me a choice. I would have been like, bitches on her own. Saito told me to stay. I'm a good dog. I stay. Normally, I'd be like, bitch, you don't tell me what to do. But he tells me what to do because it gives us points with him, and that's what we're going for. And it's really difficult to get points with the boys, so. I mean, seriously. So we continued our rounds, trying to withstand the scorching heat. I mean, it's been 2 fucking years. I did my waiting. 12 years of it in the midst of the Shinsengumi, and I still haven't gotten any. That's what I'm saying. The heat wave ended up lasting several days. On one such day, this is our other guy, but they give us a name like we know him. I don't know Kazue. Kazue is new. Soma is new. Ryuma is the naughty dude. And we already know Chikage, but did it open it? Oh, it did open his. But Kazue is new, but it's acting like we know him. Oh my god, look at him. We finally get to meet him. He is just as pretty. Every time a pretty guy shows up, I'm like, I think that's one of our other dudes. This is our other dude. Yeah. He's pretty. I'm down with that. 3 new guys. I'm not sure who the 3 new guys were that they added in this game. I'm assuming the bad guys. But, like... or maybe it's 3 of the guys in the Shinsengumi, because you'd think that, like, I don't know. So there was 9 guys you could romance originally? Well, I don't know. I don't know what kind of voice to give him. Maybe a quieter voice. Pardon me, Yukimura. Is the batch of tea I prepared good enough? Oh, it may be better to make them lukewarm. It's still quite hot today, you know? Ah, I see. You're amazing. Yeah, he's gonna be a little more, yeah, we're gonna give him a little more of the Saint Germain kind of treatment. Because he's helping us make tea. This young man is Kazue Soma. He joined the Shinsengumi just before summer began. Oh, he's new, that's why. He's very serious and respectful. Kondo supposedly met him when he was in Shoshu for the envoy, and he invited Soma to join us. Now, he currently works as Kondo's page. I guess he grew fond of the Shinsengumi, and he was focused on learning about all that it takes to become a successful warrior. I hope you're not a spy, dude. Risaburo Nomura. He's interesting, too. I'm sorry, his face is like a girl in disguise. He's got a feminine face. I mean, like, they all have, like, pretty faces, but that face right there, and it could just be the shading that almost looks like eyeliner. Totally, you put a little bit of lipstick on him, brush the hair out. Risaburo? Risaburo. Risaburo? Just, to me, is like girl hiding in boy's clothing. Then maybe we could water it down. I'm just going to give him a normal voice because it doesn't matter. But if you do that, then the tea's flavor will become lighter. Oh. Hey, Soma, what are we supposed to do then? Why don't we cool it down with the well water? No, why don't we cool it down with the well water? Oh, that's a good idea. Let's give it a try. This energetic lad is Risaburo Nomura. He joined the Shinsengumi around the same time as Soma and because of their closeness in age, Nomura became Kondo's page in training. For him, he was a huge fan of the Shinsengumi, and he joined them because of it. That left me to make sure that I teach them about all of the duties and responsibilities that go into becoming a page, which was harder than I thought. The tea doesn't have to be room temperature, just a little cooler to offset the hot weather. So first, prepare some warm water rather than boiling hot. Then try brewing it. That way it doesn't dilute the tea's flavor. Whoa! Wow, okay, I see. Wow, you sure do know a lot about this stuff. He's gonna be a little more energetic. I agree. It's very educational. He's so fucking cute. Thanks? Thanks? Well, as for the tea, I'll pour some and take it to them, so you two... What do you want us to do? We'll do anything! Yes, indeed. Let us know. Alright, guys. You two are gonna do some sword training with me. He's like, look at him, he's like, what? They look angry. What's the matter? You don't want to do it? No, please train us. Well, as for me, I have some work to do. Hey, you're a newbie. Don't be shy now. Nomura, come on now. This training is what will make us great warriors. That's not training, that's pure hazing. Well, I'll be taking them off your hands for the moment. Okay, please take care of them. Soma gulped deeply and he looked nervous. Nomura, on the other hand, looked ready to cry as Nagakura dragged them both off to training. I wish the two of them the best of luck. Yes. It's going to be really hard to get romance points with him if we got like 2 chapters left and like, that's all I'm saying. Here's some parched barley tea, Kondo. Supposedly it lowers the body's temperature. Oh, thank you. The tea you pour is always easy to drink. It's perfect, Yukimura. Thank you. He was deep in thought, arms crossed and stern. Things were bad since Lord Iemochi's death. Iemochi. Kondo especially was having a difficult time. Perhaps it was best if I simply left him alone. I turned and had already begun to walk away when he spoke. Matsumoto is examining Soji right now. Did he know about Okita's illness? What did he say? He hasn't said anything yet. I hope it's nothing serious. If something happened to Soji, I don't know how I'd be able to face her. Her? When we left for Kyoto, Misu, his older sister, asked me to look out for him. Oh, Misu, Soji Okita's older sister. Oh, Okita has an older sister? He does. They lost their parents when they were children, so Misu was Soji's parental figure and raised him. I see.
Okita seems to have been through a lot.
Well, he's an honest man. I'm sure he didn't think he went through a lot. Seriously, to call a twisted man like him honest, I think you'd be the only person in all of Japan who'd say that. Oh, oh, that's me. Oh, Hijikata. Oh, Toshi. How are you? You want some tea too? No, I don't need any, but... Did you hear about the notice board over by Sanjo Ohashi Bridge?
Notice board. A board to notify the public of established laws regarding specific people or affairs. Sanjo Ohashi. A bridge over the Kamo River at Sanjo Street in Kyoto. It's the last stop on the Tokaido and Nakasendo roads, 2 of the 5 routes of Edo. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yes, I've heard. Notice board about the Choshu's crime, right? Some assholes pulled it out and tossed it into the Kamo. Of course, heard about that as well.
They threw a notice board into a river? Well, that seems juvenile and stupid, but...
But I thought that they put the notice board back up the next day.
They did. Same thing happened. I think they're gonna ask us to keep an eye on it pretty soon.
I got torn down. It got torn down at night, didn't it? What do you say to using Sanen's Fury Course, then?
The Fury Core.
You think it's a bad idea?
They work hard enough, but they tend to get a little excited. Whenever we give them something to do, they end up slaughtering the other side. That's not enough for them, though. They go in and hack the corpses to bits. Most of the time, they're not even recognizable. Maybe they're doing it to try and hide the Shinsegumi's hand, but they're going too far. We're not just a pack of murderers. I told them to knock it off, but they won't listen. They just want to play with their corpses. It sounds so disgusting. Oh my god, we're way over. Not way over, but... They keep this up and we're no better than those night cutters. I felt a shiver snake down my spine as he spoke. Even after a year, I remembered with terrifying clarity what I'd seen when I first arrived in Kyoto. Furies. After a year? It's been almost 2! They behaved as if possessed by evil spirits, their swords mercilessly hacking away at dead men. Oh, I did notice one thing when I was reading through, like information to figure out the butterfly things, and, like, it was on a page where they were going over information and, like, blah, 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 and, like, telling you about the game and, like, facts and stuff, and then they did have a guide. But one of the things they said right before they got into the guide, because I didn't read the guide parts, was that the timelines, I guess, like, on the... You know, when we see, like, the thing and it says, whatever, October of 1866 and whatever. When you're using the record of service there, sometimes it'll say a certain date, and when you load it up, it's a different date, because apparently, like, the dates, like Japanese dates are different than, like, Western culture. So, like, I guess in the translation, it just got a little messed up. But you would think they would be able to keep it the same, but I guess it must not line up. So I'm wondering if maybe... Well, but no, but it still said October of 1866, but we showed up here in, like, February or March of 1864, so, like, it's been over a year. Yeah, it's been, like, over 2. I mean, unless your years are different, like, well, this year was only 3 months. Wow, next year is going to be, like, 46 months, and you're like, it's, like, I mean, I don't think that's how dates work. It's like a 12-month calendar, that's what I'm saying. So, like, what the fuck? Like, what? What is the deal? What is the fucking deal? I don't know. But anyway. So, I mean, maybe it hasn't been 2 fucking years. Maybe we should just ignore the dates and the month. I don't know. But it's just so long. Anyway. They behaved as if possessed by evil spirits, their swords mercilessly hacking away at dead men. It hadn't been hatred or fear that drove them, but some sort of twisted amusement. I didn't think I'd ever forget that the half-mad smiles each had worn. I've got a few other ideas.
Good, good. I'll leave the details to you then, Toshi. Ah, yes.
Have you heard about Lord, Yoshinobu? Yoshinobu? Oh, good God. Okay, hold on. Guardian of the Shogun, I got that. Lord Yoshinobu, Hitotsubashi. Yoshinobu Hitotsubashi. Okay, good enough.
Well, the old guardian of the Shogun.
Yoshinobu Hitotsubashi. Born in the Mito Tokugawa clan, he was adopted into the Hitotsubashi House to increase his chances to be 15th shogun. He held the position of guardian prior to becoming shogun. Oh, whoops. I'm sorry. We gotta rewind this. Yes, because I forgot a thingy. Yeah, we gotta do both. Okay. Boop. Yeah, I forgot. Guardian of the Shogun, a position created during the Bakamatsu period. Bakamatsu? Yeah, I said that right. Period to assist whoever held the office of Shogun. Okay.
Yeah, what about him? I've heard a couple of people say he's like... Yeah. I don't know why my brain all of a sudden I went, what am I trying to say? I literally just went stupid for a second. Oh my god. A couple of people say that he's like Ieyasu reborn. Ieyasu reborn. I don't know about that, but I do hear he's pretty sharp. Ieyasu? Who's Ieyasu? Before long, they'd started to discuss politics I didn't understand, and I politely excused myself. Okay, perfect time to stop. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna wrap this part up here. I will, again, don't read ahead. Don't you read ahead. I see you reading ahead. I know you're reading ahead. Don't you read ahead. I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.